comments in the chat because I'm going on at a weird time of day, man. Hey guys, it's Crow. I gotta turn that damn music off. I don't like that one bit. Just doing a live today because I think, like everyone, we just watched that Hasbro Pulse live stream today. And I know there's no one out there right now, and if people join in, I'll see it. But right now, all I'm saying is I'm not going to talk too much about that, what was revealed, because you know what? The surprise just wasn't there, was it? Not this time. The fact of the matter is, all the talk about these figures came out days ago when those figures got released. And as you can tell, it's middle of the day and people are working, all sorts of traffic going by my place. So we might have to compete a little bit with that today. But yeah, you can see down on the banner here, it says teachable moments, right? Yeah, Joe Daddies. Okay, so guys, I grew up. My dad was actually, you know, it was my mom. My mom was both my mom and my dad growing up in that single household, being raised that way. Never really had a father figure to give me those dad talks. You know, I had to give them to myself over time or translate them through other experiences. But this is one where I see the dad sees that teachable moment. And I picture this like Christmas morning, right? And Christmas morning, how many kids would go down and try and figure out what they got from ahead of time, right? They would sneak in their parents' closets. They would look in all the hiding spots of the house, right? Looking for, what is it I'm getting for Christmas? I found a hovercraft. I found the water moccasin. I did when I was a kid. You know, I was that kid that was snooping, seeing if I got anything close to what I had asked for Christmas. No, just getting some relevant news to something else I'm going to be talking about today. Hey, Wraith Mace. Hello. Thank you for joining me today. Good. Now I have someone to tell this to. Right. So just talking about those Hasbro reveals today and how lackluster it all felt, man. And hey, Maximilian Studios, thank you also for joining me today. And yeah, the whole experience just reminded me of what I would do if I caught my kid snooping before Christmas and he had just found out on Christmas morning that he had no surprises left, right? Because he knew everything that was coming. And that's kind of what I'm talking about today, was those figure reveals today were all stuff we knew were on the way, and we had over speculated today. And if you caught the stream, they opened up by showing you a couple of new digital renders of the Saw Viper and of Dial Tone, right? And man, was I ever glad when I did my dial tone, and I revealed that on my last video the other day. I did it in Tiger Force. Yes, I feel like I win. I didn't waste an entire figure conversion just doing dial tone. I did it in Tiger Force. So this new dial tone coming is the regular dial tone. I won. I win. Yay. Until they, you know, do the repaint. But they covered that. They covered the standard release waves, which we saw, you know, including the Amazon exclusive, apparently, Stinger. We got the Iron Grenadier, the Iron Grenadier Bat. We got Alpine, Storm Shadow. This is the GIJoe V2 inspired, I would say, Storm Shadow, and things like that. And guys, I'll give my full opinions on those when I'm doing a backyard battlefield with Aaron the Toy Enhancer and 3-star draw this Wednesday coming. It's, you know, we're getting together. It's one of the things we're going to want to talk about. And I want their input on stuff, because honestly, I'm still not sure what my input on some of these are, to be quite honest. Although I've known about these for days now, thanks to the leaks. I don't know. It just, I'm still processing some of it. So I wasn't ready to do a live about my opinions on it today, but the experience I was. So I got to ask the two of you guys, if you're able to at all comment, or if you're working or driving, or that's fine, don't. But did today's Hasbro release, like the Pulse, did you watch it? And did it surprise you? These can be quick little yes, no questions, or you can put an entire statement. But that's kind of where I was going, was I didn't find anything a surprise today. Even the thing that they brought forward as a surprise, I didn't see as a surprise. And I don't really want to say what it is if you haven't already caught that stream. It just didn't have the impact I think they were hoping it would have, but I think they knew it wouldn't really. And it was a new retro that we hadn't been talking about so much, that they were showing to go pair with the two that we did know were coming, the retro carded Cobra Commander and the retro carded Cobra Infantry. You didn't, because we all know it's going to wait time is unbearable these days. Okay, yeah. Okay. First person that says yes, I'll tell you what that retro release was, so you don't have to go looking for it, but you're going to see the pictures flooding anyway, so you'll eventually know what it is. And that's awesome. And I do have one other guy joining me right now. He's taking a break from 3D printing and working, and you know him pretty well here, guys. Welcome, Aaron. Hey, Aaron.
What's up, guys? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear us or me? Okay.
Yeah, I was making sure. I always have troubles with my internet. You guys know that.
Yeah. So I was explaining to the two that we have here. We have Wraith Base and we have Maximilian Studios, who had the time to drop in at this weird time to do a live, and I acknowledge that. But that's who we're chatting with today right now, Aaron.
Maximilian Studios. Maximilian Studios. You don't happen to be the gentleman I met at Toylanta by chance, do you? Are you?
He might well be, because I think he came from yours. Base wants to know what size T-shirt we wear.
I wear an XL.
Yeah, I wear children's large. No, I don't know. I'm probably a medium, just a regular men's medium. I guess. Yeah, okay, thanks for. I guess you've got something up your sleeve. I think I said I heard something about shirts at some point when we all get there. But Wraith Base, yeah, whatever you're up to, I'm interested to hear. We got Bobby Wold in the chat as well.
Hey, Bobby, that's a great idea, and I know that we have talked about that in the past. Yes, it is time to make a cliffside for sure.
Yeah, and so Maximilian, he hasn't been back to Atlanta over a year, so this is not the one that you met. Okay, so
okay, you're reminding me of someone else. I apologize.
Yeah. And Joe Con or Joe Fest? Well, I'm going to Joe Fest. Well, I know Aaron and I got a date to go to Joe Fest. Right?
Yes.
A 3-day dinner date.
Play date.
Yeah, and so is that to say you're going to be there, Wraith Mace? Because that's exciting. I wasn't sure if I'd heard you were or weren't.
That would be cool. We all need to come back to my house and play afterwards.
Yeah, because between the 3-star, you, me, Loki, Wartooth, Daredevil Dave, now possibly Wraith Mace. Oh my Jesus. We're not sleeping.
No sleep that week.
No sleep that week. Oh my God. And I'm an old man. And so Aaron, I gotta ask you, bro, you watched the stream. Were you shocked and awed by any of it? You're not gonna make it, buddy. Okay. That's too bad. We'll be thinking of you and talking about you the whole time. And when we stream live, Wraith Mace, I want you to know we're talking to you specifically, all right? Yeah. Go ahead, Aaron.
The stream was exciting. I mean, a lot of people were pumped in there. It got me pumped, you know. I know a lot of people were talking crazy in there. That's normally what happens in those streams. It was exciting. There's just a few things that I'm questioning. It wasn't a perfect wave coming our way. A good one. It's a good wave, but there's some questions lingering.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just trying, and yeah, that was exactly what I said too. Is like, I need time to process this, because I know there's things I'm stuck on, right? And I'm not sure where my opinion has landed per se on a couple of things.
Right.
And the rest of it, what I was saying earlier is there was no real surprises here, and even the surprise they tried to give us today wasn't a surprise, right? And guys, I've kind of left it hanging long enough, but the third retro card reveal was Recondo, guys, and it was one of those figures that's making me pause and wonder, okay, how do I actually feel about this? And I want to welcome Daredevil Dave, who welcomes everyone to the show. And he's glad we could come see him. I'm glad we could come see you too, Daredevil Dave.
Nice to see you, Daredevil Dave. Triple D.
Yeah. So as I was saying, the 3-star, we messaged earlier, and I said, guys, I'm going on. I'm going to do a live just to kind of, hey, let's not be gatekeepers of channel information either. I was trying to catch that window after Hasbro's live of people wanting to discuss or be a part of the discussion, right?
Yeah, we know it's fresh on your mind right now.
It is fresh on the but 3-star raised a good point, and I was like, absolutely. When we go into the depth of what we actually think on these characters, I think it's best we wait till the Backyard Battlefield meets this Wednesday night, because that gives us time to contemplate those problems we're having, right, Aaron?
Yes.
Yeah, and do you like the VAC metal? Yeah, so
I did too. I like the way the VAC looked.
So if you haven't seen it yet, you've got the verification that the retro carded Cobra Commander was not the Battle Armor Cobra Commander. It was, in fact, the HasLab styled one with lacking the Mickey Mouse on the breast and now having the Cobra emblem. But the mask has this amazing feature, which go catch it on the Hasbro Live. Do make sure you watch and scroll through that at least to see just how that mask shows up now.
Yes, as true as everyone wanted maybe something a little different, I am happy with the VAC.
Yeah. Sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to say Recondo. I meant to say Stalker, guys. The retro card Stalker.
I was like, wait a minute, Recondo is sitting behind me.
Yeah. I was thinking, because when I think of Stalker and Recondo, I think of the world of reconnaissance, right? So everybody is recce, right? So it's just everything's recce with me. So it's like, okay, Recondo, yeah. Recon, Stalker, Recon. But yes, it was a Stalker, and it was very much similar to what we have, but it does have differences to it. So I'm on the fence on that. Sorry. And what's the prevailing opinion for classified HasLab for this year? I mean, it's a hope versus rumor, right? I don't know. Aaron, you want to weigh on that first?
What word the question again? I'm sorry, I was reading.
It's just on the banner here. It says, "What's the prevailing opinion for the classified HasLab this year?"
Oh, the classified HasLab for this year. I'm gonna stick to my guns. I caught wind through pretty solid information that it was going to be a rattler, and I'm gonna stick to my guns. Now that dude, I forget his name, who was replacing Emily, filling in for Emily today. I did keep firing up that crowd with Emily got fired, just because I know it gets everyone fired up.
And that was just it. Okay, so we'll talk about that, and then I'll address the HasLab thing.
But yeah, he had that.
Go ahead.
He had that shirt on, Crow. Did you see the shirt?
Yeah, I did see it. So we got introduced to new HasLab or Hasbro Pulse Joe team member. I think his name was BMAC or DMAC, who had a history of working on the Transformers line over the last 4 years. So he's been working, you got to think, with the Dark Energon side. So now here we find him on the classified side, and everybody gets fired up. And I'm going to say hi to Skyfall.
Yeah, because I have seen that guy on panels before, and you're right. It's probably the Transformer panels.
Exactly, right? So so this guy comes on, and right away, yeah, you can picture all the people that had things to say about Emily. We're getting excited, like, oh my gosh, you got fired, right? Aaron, I guess you were flaring that up, eh?
I was. I'm an instigator. When there's three, or how many was it? 6,000 people in one chat. Yeah. I'm gonna instigate.
And I'm seeing now that we have 8 hours, so bang bang. All right, that's that, bro. We're competing now.
It's all
But
good.
nonetheless, the point being is BMAC came in and he was the marketing representative for the usual brand team. And while everybody was thinking maybe Emily got fired, no. Emily is prepping for the SDCC, San Diego Comic-Con, right? Where G.I. Joe classified the property itself has a very high slot at San Diego Comic-Con, meaning it's being high profile right now.
Right. And I believe that Emily's position is a little more high strung than Lenny's and whatnot. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So I will get back to the chat in a second. I'll close out with just answering this. So for me, yeah, if you listen to a lot of the talk, you would say the Rattler is kind of a lock and sealed thing. However, I remember an episode of It's Chad where he talked about having some reliable information about the Arctic cat. Am I saying that right? Arctic cat?
Yeah, Arctic cat.
With frostbite, yeah.
Yep.
Battle cat, Arctic cat. No, polar battle bear, Arctic cat. Yeah, Arctic cat. So about that coming, and it's assured pretty much through what he says, and I'm not holding him to any of it, what he considered a reliable source at the time, but there was no commitment as to whether it was going to be on the shelf, they thought possibly, or it could be a HasLab. We later saw that was reviewed as a possible HasLab through a focus group. I still think there's a hope that the Arctic cat is the HasLab and that Frostbite and a couple of Arctic tiered unlocks come out of that. There, I've answered my point on that. Bobby, yes, I did. I haven't read it yet. I will explain why a little bit later in the live. You guys are going to experience something very different on this channel with me over the next few months. Yeah, go back, watch it. Absolutely, Daredevil Dave. And then be ready for our discussion with 3-Star Draw on Wednesday about a lot of those, as well as some other interesting stuff. Skyfall, I said hi. There we go. And Wraith May's going back to work. Okay. Yeah, Daredevil Dave. While wearing the T-shirt, they did say you can read between the lines. So, Aaron, explain.
Yes, that was what they first said. You know, they gave us a kind of hint that Easter egg right off the rip if you were focused on the string when it very first started. Yeah.
And so, what was the T-shirt? It was the Cobra symbol, but what was going on with it?
It's the actual. I forget the actual proper wording to that symbol, but it's the logo that goes on the Rattler. I only know because I've fixed so many vintage Rattlers in the years, and that's the sticker logo sheet that you see. That's the Rattler Air Force. Bobby, what's the proper name of that? I know he'll know it if someone hasn't said it yet. There's a name for it.
Yeah, so without getting too far into the stream, what I was going to focus today on, I was going to talk about what's left, because I compared this very quickly to and Aaron, you're a dad. You might have done this to your kids already, and I know I've given Emerson's always given my son Emerson. Little Crow has always been good.
Little Crow.
I had to give it to him.
Yeah.
But when your kid goes and discovers all those Christmas presents before Christmas morning, right? Like the day before or 2 days before, right? Bobby just knows it as Rattler Air Force Squadron. Everybody.
Right. It is the Cobra Air Force symbol.
There you go. So I said that's basically what's happening now with leaks. We were leaked Mad Marauder, Sergeant Slaughter how long ago? Too long ago. We were leaked these new images a couple of days ago. And we basically saw everything they were about to reveal, minus the new digital renders, the name drop. And guys, the name drop was Footloose. And I'm pretty sure that was name dropped a while ago already, right? Or was it your neck that was name dropped a while ago? I'm starting to not give a rat's ass about the name drops because there's no schedule.
Right? Show us the merchandise.
It's like, okay, so you pulled out your GIJoe omnibus like Aaron did. Or no, not you didn't do it. Lame did it. Pulled out the GIJoe omnibus and said, this is coming, this is coming, this is coming. And that's exactly what that name drop felt like at the end. I was like, either I've heard this already or I've stopped caring because you don't put a schedule out, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah. So now here we are. All our kids have already guessed the Christmas presents. You know, all the boxes are not a surprise. When they open them, they're just moderately happy. They're not surprised like they should be on Christmas morning. And here we are. This is Christmas morning, and I don't think any of us are surprised with our presents, are we?
And it's, I'd hate to say this, but we're coming to a point where we are trying to fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
With line.
Right. It's that instant gratification need. And then there's people that are willing to feed that need because they know that it will benefit a channel. Right. And so what I'm trying to get at, guys, is you got your leaks. Did you really want them this bad to take the weight out of something like this today? Right? That's your dad. Your what is it? What did I say? Joe Daddy.
Joe Daddy's
teachable moment right there. Yeah. So I don't know. Did you have other kind of impressions about what wasn't there? Because there was some things that we thought might be there, but I think they're saving them for SDCC, right?
Yeah, I was. There was one figure that kind of new to me because we weren't talking about it much on the reveal, and I can't think of it for some reason. And it was in the beginning of the stream somewhere.
Right. So at the beginning, they revealed the digital renders for Saw Viper and
Saw Viper. So we knew about, we did kind of know about that, but seeing something about that was the only thing that like I didn't totally know about at that point.
And that's so the Saw Viper got name dropped on, I think, the last or the second last Hasbro stream they did relevant to Joe. He was one of the name drops, right? Yeah. And right away, everybody wants overkill. We get that. So when you see the Hasbro Pulse stream today, if you do, just understand it is a digital render and it's not final. He has a very noticeable absence of kit going on there in that digital render.
Thick.
He is thick, but if you look, I can almost promise you there's probably a second head sculpt in there, right? There's stuff that is not included. You have almost a whole missing panel of where the kit would lay out, because that small amount of kit would have gone off to the right if that was all of it, right? But it doesn't.
Yeah.
Right?
I think if they are going to throw us a curveball or something cool, I would have liked to, I probably would have liked to see like a Night Viper or something like that.
Right. So for SDCC, guys, what I was going to talk about was trying not to leak, but just remind us of what we've been talking about and what Hasbro has alluded to that wasn't covered today. All right. So one thing that wasn't covered today, right? Just blew up the internet if there was a window viper coming. What? The only reveal that we just blew up is a window viper. All right. Anyways, yeah. There was no mention of Xandar still, right? And so this is why, I mean, like, these name drops mean nothing to me because there's no schedule assigned to them. So, Aaron, do you feel like Xandar is something possibly they're going to reveal as a digital render at SDCC or no?
It's probably set up for that. Only because he's a Dreadnought, and it seems like there's just a little more pump and a little more drive for that. Right. Everyone loves the Dreadnoughts for some reason. I do too.
Crow, you could totally cosplay as the Window Viper at Joe Fest and see if
Viper. You know what he's talking about, that one show on the cartoon where he's saying he's the Viper, I'm coming, and
the Window Viper.
Right.
Yes,
he's the window wiper.
Yeah, the squeegee up
kind of like the joke where the lady's in the shower and the guy's knocking on the front door. He's like, "Hey, it's the blind man, it's the blind man. Can you come answer the door?" But she's like, "Oh shoot, I'm in the shower." She couldn't find a towel, right? Butt naked she's like, "Oh, well, he's blind, I'm just gonna go to the door." And then so the naked blonde opens the door, and he's like, "Nice tits, lady. Where do you want these curtains hung?"
Yeah. He's there, blinds. Yeah. Hey, Gaslands, how you doing? No, I like that. I mean, I do have a cosplay on standby. I've told Aaron about it. I got some stuff set aside for that, but I might look into that as a secondary. The Window Viper.
The Window Viper, yes. Yeah, I got pictures.
So Gaslands is here. Xandar was not revealed. Nemesis Enforcer was not revealed. Now, here's a working thought to keep in mind as to what wasn't revealed and possibly what where we can bracket our expectations. We got 3 retro card reveals, and those come in waves of 3. Right. So I don't think we can expect any more retro cards being on the priority. Am I wrong on that, Aaron? Do you think possibly there's another wave of retro cards they'd reveal? Or
I think we're settled in with the Cobra Commander, Stalker, and is there another one that I'm forgetting?
the Trooper, Cobra Trooper.
I think we're pretty settled in for that until the next wave.
Okay. So then we get into the regular wave, which they showed Alpine, Storm Shadow, Iron Grenadier, and Iron Grenadier Bat. These are regular retail waves, so we got 4 of those, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's a regular wave consist of? Because I think of those,
Normally 4.
yeah. Which was a deluxe? Do you know? Did you spot a deluxe in any of that?
The deluxe was the oh man, it's hard to think of them on the spot because I've just been overwhelmed with the whole stream.
Yeah.
There is a deluxe out. It's the Marauders. Remember the Spirit and
Right. Spirit and
Low Light.
Yeah, Low Light, and then the Sergeant Slaughter was a deluxe set. That was it.
Right.
Now we also know that the Sergeant Slaughter set. This was weird for me to absorb. And Aaron, did you hear about it? Yeah, Marauder, Sergeant Slaughter. Thank you. The thing about the Sergeant Slaughter is somehow it made it to packaging where the hat was off of the figure and it was set off to the side in the packaging, and that itty bitty duffel bag or itty bitty bitty bag was down at the bottom somewhere under the packaging where you couldn't initially see it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then they printed off a bunch of these, and I guess they're out or going to be put out. And if you see these, you're told to hang on to them and do not unbox them, because what ended up happening is Sergeant Slaughter ended up weighing in on it afterwards, and they wound up having to change the way it was packaged so he actually has his hat and glasses on, and now the itty bag is actually up in the spot where the hat was.
So Crow, you're saying the valuable one is the one where he has the hat off?
That's right, because he didn't want to be represented.
Ooh, I love stuff like this.
Yeah, so that was I like that. That's been out. A few guys have talked about
nice.
that, and you see how it applies, and I'm like, okay, that's interesting to me in that.
Yeah.
How the F does it work when you finally say this figure is good to go and you send that off for packaging and distribution, and then some third party that you have a contract with is able to bind you and make you change it all over a preference of their headdress?
But man, you're talking about a variant, and I just heard it from you, so I know there's a lot of people that are probably just hearing it for the first time. That's exciting for people like me, because I hunt the chase.
Yeah, I mean,
that's like no tomorrow.
Yeah. So I mean, the shark artist is Chad Punk with toys. A few guys have spoken on this already. I'm not the first to speak on it, but if you are the first hearing it here for the first time, there's my take on it. Right? Like, what control symptoms are in a contract with a guy like Sergeant Slaughter that you can have a distribution interruption and repackaging caused because he doesn't like the way his head was represented?
That's a lot of power right there.
That's a lot of damn power, you know.
Stop production. Hold the phone.
Yeah, and then we got 3-star. I mean, 3-star. I didn't want to get too far into the actual figures themselves, right? I want to save that with you guys. But yeah, that was another thing why we're on the fence. Some of it, right? You finally get your V2 Storm Shadow, but there's a lot of differences in this one versus what possibly the expectations were, and
I wanted to say this because we make our own action figures all the time. We're customizers. There's one thing disappointing is I felt like when I did see the V2 Storm Shadow is like in my mind, and I have to go back and look because I do have pictures and I do take pictures of other people's toys. I feel like I've seen a better version of it, man.
Sure.
I had that feeling, and because we're customizers, you know, and we're in that world a lot more. But
well, right away I thought about I think it was NECA that did theirs. Was it NECA or one of the higher end ones where he had the claws and yes.
I do. I don't know which company did it, but I know the one you're talking. I know.
I feel like it was NECA, but it's just because that's the last few good figs I've seen, right? Or Mezco possibly. I don't know. And then we got DMAC and Grievance are in here.
So Grievance.
With that, oh look, Grievance has got a new profile pic. That's awesome. Hey,
that must be you.
Yeah,
nice
so
Grievance.
there is a few different good Storm Shadows out there, and this one I'm not sure, but I loved the banter about how the camo came about. It was Lenny asking for a second perspective, Tony walking in and saying Tetris, and there you go, right? That made sense. And I'm gonna just pause for a second because something came up on my scroll feed. We got 11 people in the chat. Thanks everybody for showing up and joining us.
Nice, guys.
Just
nice
so you know, as far as Canada's response to Hasbro officially, Crow went on the air before a certain island out west. I'm just saying. You're about how far are we? You're about 30 minutes slow over there in the west there. So just want to put that out there, guys. Give me a like if you cheered for that. So, Aaron, what else are you thinking on this? Because I see the comment from DMAC Hasbro too much with the story.
I'm fine. Again, I'm not to touch base on everything, but I think one of the other frustrating things where I have to just suck this in and I have to look at it. And of course, I'm probably going to make my decision until I get them in hand. But the sculpt the face of Alpine, and I'm not going to lie, he did look better.
Yeah, and I mean,
I know him with his goggles on.
Yeah, so
you know what I mean,
there was 12.5 Alpine jokes we have to write between now and Wednesday.
Right.
But yes, that is the hot button with Alpine.
And I think it's because a lot of people are looking at the head sculpt, and we're just so dang used to seeing Alpine with his goggles on, and we know how up front, how goofy he is, and just like I could feel like it is kind of weird seeing him like that, and a lot of people didn't like the sculpt.
Yeah, and sorry, I'm not sure what is this conversation the dick move, or what's the dick move? Was it the V2 Storm Shadow 3-star, or I was talking about that because, like I said, I the Alpine head is the hot button discussion. All of that, right? So, so anyways, what I was trying to get at was for SDCC, we have 4 of the mainline wave, and then we have 2 deluxe sets. So that wave release pretty much done. I can't see them adding any more waves. So all I'm really kind of expecting at SDCC right now is the whatchamacallit, exclusives and possibly another vehicle.
Yeah, and honestly, I really can't, we're not going to have good conversation on it until, I hope, 3-star, let me know if you need help putting a slideshow together, because we're definitely going to need a slide to go over the finer details and stuff. I just can't think of things that I've seen on there and stuff. That's why it's going to be, that's why I told, we were all asking about what should we talk about, I was like, man, there's going to be so much to talk about with this new reveals and just Hasbro period. But, once we get into more detail with a good slideshow, we're going to really be able to pour into these. So I don't want 3-star to think we're all kicking it out now, because there's just so much to talk about.
And that's just it. I won't lie. I took screenshot after screenshot after screenshot after screenshot when they were showing them, because I'm like, it's too much. I
was doing the same thing. I was clicking through the. I've been taking pictures off of Facebook, or whatever, making sure that I have everyone's info in case I do use anything. And when the stream was going, I'm just like, click, screenshot. So I never felt intrigued to do that before too, So
yeah. Really quickly, Grievance. How many did you buy, Woody? Let's just say he keeps going next door and just grabbing pallets before they load them on the truck, probably. But I did get a question. I think it was from Gaslands about the buggies that I made. They were Fisher Price, but they weren't Rescue Heroes. I don't think. I think they were older than that, man. But I have no idea.
Hang on. I gotta call out 3-star. He says I can't wait until it's not the Rattler. I'm trying to click on it and put it up there.
Where? Yeah, right here.
I will make the bet right now. I will make the bet.
Yeah, buddy. And that's just it. Like I said, things that we didn't see. So the last thing we saw was the Stinger, and that was the only vehicle, right? And then we didn't see the HasLab, and they told you you're not going to see the fucking HasLab, but he's wearing that stupid T-shirt, right? So let's talk about red herrings for a second, Joe fans. Okay, you can't be assured that that was
that big bastard gave it all away right from the red.
Right?
I'm sorry. He is a cool guy. I do. I forget his name. What was it again?
D-Mac or D-Mac? Are you talking about? Yeah. Exactly, right? So you can't take any clues as clues, right? Like, here's a clue they dropped a while ago. There was a witty little banter between Lenny and Tony about the Night Creeper, where they alluded to the fact that, maybe they just need a Night Creeper leader, right? And it was stupid stage script. Okay, so should I be holding my breath for that? I don't know. Okay, yeah, a lot of opinions here on that. Okay, 3-star. Also, the Firebrand note. The name is also the Firebat logo.
Is it the Firebat logo? I know it's directed towards the whole air division because I believe, is it on the Trouble Bubble? Hang on.
I'm not sure. I definitely do feel like the
Trouble Bubbles sure do take a licking and keep on ticking.
Wouldn't know. All they have out here is Python Patrol, and I don't give those the dignity they deserve, I guess. But yeah. So, pardon me.
No, it's not.
Yeah. So with the HasLab, I mean, the way that they presented their Iron Grenadiers this week, you could definitely start seeing the HasLab Iron Grenadier project idea getting more people behind it, going, maybe that is it, right? Because they've put a lot of concentration on how these Iron Grenadiers are going to look and what the troop builds look like. They showed inner part swappability today between two different characters that I don't think I've ever seen them do when they're presenting a wave before. So definitely I see a lot of heat going on to the Iron Grenadier fire. I don't know what's your thought on that, but do you think SDCC has another Iron Grenadier reveal coming?
I don't think so. Not with the two already in play. And we got Metalhead ties into that too, kind of.
Yeah. So, they showed Metalhead with them, yeah.
Yeah. I think they'll keep it pretty solid. I know everybody would like to see some sort of demon or something, something like that, and that would be remarkable for them to bust something out. But I'm saying that because, man, we already cracked in the Tiger Force, right? We're dipping our toes in the Night Force and all that. It would be very possible to see another different vehicle come from the company.
Well, and that's just it. I have a theory that I know what the vehicle is, and I was saying this before, and I can reveal that my Iron Grenadiers rant I am saving for Wednesday, because there was stuff I saw in there that I was like, oh my God. Like Deadpool would say, I should have been wearing my white shirt, right? Like, it was that kind of a vibe off some of it. But that's definitely for Wednesday, because I'm not sure how to word some of the things I saw just yet, but I also want to bounce some of it off the two of you, right? So yeah, the Iron Grenadiers, but what they did mention was those Mad Marauders are stacked up to fight the Iron Grenadiers, right? They said that in the stream while they were trying to promote why you should agree that the Mad Marauders are in fact awesome. Okay.
Yes, and
on board now.
I want to bring up something. I'm actually on Hasbro right now, and the Iron Grenadier number 132 is sold out.
Yeah, did you think that was going to go down any differently?
Right? The bat's still there. The bat is still there. So.
Oh, wait, what time is it? 2:09? Whatever. By the time I log in after this stream, it'll be gone. This is not a surprise.
Crazy how fast that stuff goes.
Right. And so that's part of my, hey, Iron Grenadiers is your most momentum troop builder. It's going to make Python Patrol look silly, but I'm going to save all that for Wednesday as well, because that's going down. I did not need a crystal ball to see this. Not one bit.
Right.
Crystal ball, you sit on the bench. And the bat, the bat, I think 3-star, he definitely nailed what he thought the bat was going to look like. We got it pretty much the way he described it to us.
It looks good too. I was really happy with the colors. I'm not an Iron Grenadier fan, but I turned into one today, though. I thought both figures were looking great.
That's right. And so this is where I was going. They also did mention Slaughter's Triple T. I can't remember the context in which it discusses, but this is something I think we're seeing at SDCC. I think it's the right time. It's the right vehicle. And it goes with the Iron Grenadiers and the Mad Marauders combating them, which would lend more weight to a HasLab Iron Grenadier idea or a secret, Aaron, can I brag for a second?
Yes, absolutely. I'm sorry. I'm actually making my damn payment.
No, that's all right.
Well, my Hasbro things minus the Iron Grenadier, of course.
So I gave credit to 3-star draw just now because he really kind of called that bat. Hey, Stuart Patrick, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you here. He called that bat pretty much verbatim as it was presented. And if he was sitting right beside me and not out there in Tennessee, I believe it is, I'd high-five him. But there's been a lot of talk, especially last night. I was watching it on Punk's stream. Yeah. Destro and the Despoiler. Guys, if you've been a viewer of my channel since the beginning, this was the shit I was talking about 6 months to 8 months ago. Destro and the Despoiler versus Serpentor and the Air Chariot. It's the same price point kit. This is going to come. All right. It's not going to be Destro packaged up with a HasLab, because then how do you get your Destro? It'll be Destro. If he's going to come as a deluxe, he'll come as like that with the Despoiler or something. I'm guaranteed it. Right. And here we are. So 3-star, you, me. Okay, there we go. So Aaron, have you finished making your payment, buddy?
I just completed my order. I apologize, guys. I totally forgot.
What have you ordered? What have you ordered?
I ordered everything but the Iron that 130, the Iron Grenadier.
Yeah. And you don't see me jumping on right now to do it because my friend over at GameStop knows as soon as those pre-orders come up, he just puts my name on it. Always in line, so I get them all.
Well, I think 3-star does like me. He'll order. Yeah, he'll order double from different places, sometimes triple, and then I can either cancel or I'll just have an extra fig, which I do like to have. I like to open one and at least keep one. Woody 222 stocks 2 and opens 1, but I like to at least get one. Not open.
And didn't you appreciate them throwing that into the Hasbro stream as their running joke? Not buying 2, but buying 3. In fact, you should always buy 3 of our product.
Talking about the army building and whatnot, they know what's going on. They know that's.
Yeah, and being the inbox collector, and they even acknowledge the secondary markets, and
and I understand why army building is so attractive to the adult collector. Why? Because you can. When you were a kid, you couldn't. You wanted to. You tried to. Some of us did make it happen. Some of us were flexible with our parents. But if you had one like mine, my mom would say, you already have that one.
Yeah, exactly. Troop building? No, Mom, you don't understand how get mirrors. Like, my mom would never have gone for that if she knew I
Mine either. My mom was so against that.
Yeah. And if I ever did troop build a figure, it would, because my grandparents never knew that I got it from my mom, and it was never a troop builder figure. It'd be like two of Flint. Like,
Yeah.
two Flint.
I would literally say that I lost a figure and hide it in a crayon box, and then we're going, and then next thing I know, I got 2 Crimson Guards, you know,
Right.
2 bats.
So another thing we didn't see that we've been talking a lot about for SDCC is going to be, I think we're going to see some images of Starduster at some point. I think it's overdue. The mystery reveal of the packaging and all that's gotta. This is the month to do it. That's the place to do it. Apparently, it's gonna have to happen. If not, I don't understand why. But my big hopeful is that the GIJoe MMS is revealed. Yeah,
that would be cool. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Crow, would you? When that MMS comes out, I mean,
that's the one I ordered.
Wouldn't you like it to be a little different from, you know, what we've seen with the Cobra and everything? And I've been noticing same wheels are being used, you know, things like that.
I don't expect
the exact model of the MMS, you know.
Yeah. It's a fair point. I see the point you're making there, and it's like, yeah, you're gonna get a reprint. It's not gonna surprise you. I think the surprises could come in the not the missiles and not the trailer per se, definitely not the wheels. You know, all that's gonna be reused because those are the high price items. Especially possibly the bracket system is gonna be the same, I'm sure.
Yes.
But the attachment control panel and the character are two things that I think are going to be what they're going to focus on to try and get you convinced it's worthwhile.
Yeah. And that, I mean, that's what I would like to see. That exterior control system, all that. Yeah.
So I think, what is it? It was the classic olive drab hawk that you got back in the day with that one. If you're remembering right.
Yeah. It's my Cobra.
It's the Cobra panel, right?
Cobra version. Loki printed for me.
I was going to say, is that the 3D print then? Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool because you can use it for that control panel, and I haven't put no stickers or anything on it, and it does have a circle and some button detail. But you turn it around, and I mean, it's a instant little Cobra podium, you know.
And that's where I would say that's what I would use one of those for. Okay, so here you go, guys. 10 people in the chat. Hopefully, some of you have tripped over that like button on the way in or out of this one. If you haven't, make sure you try and tap that for us. Or if you're not liking me, you're liking Aaron. If you're not liking Aaron, you're liking me. If you're not liking either, why are you here?
Hit the like and just like the entire fellowship. Always hit a like in a live stream, especially when we're talking about toys.
Here's your glimpse of the Crow's tactical perspective on this one, boys. All right, let's talk MMS and let's talk control panel for a second. What the actual F are you thinking is happening behind those missiles? How much concussive force blast and heat do you think you're dealing with that you can feed a cable cord to that system and not vibrate those connectors or heat melt line that whatever, and then stand, 12 feet away from it? No, that's not happening. We live in an age of little laptops. That's what it needed. It needed a detachable motherboard laptop, some industrial military grade computer that you could bracket it onto the back of the thing for transport and then haul it off 500 meters, 250 meters, whatever the blast safety is of missiles.
And Loki,
that's your thing. Right?
Loki did make me a little laptop, but I don't know where the hell it is now.
Yeah, so 3D printers, if you were to look at what a lot of the guys have for the mainframe loadout, I know Loki War 2001, there's a lot of tactical computers. And the thing about Army laptops is we do have times where our laptops were as small as what you have at home, like those little frail MacBooks or whatnot. Those are our office computers. We have an entirely different contract when it comes to getting those into something we can deploy out the gate with. And that is all about the packaging. It has to have a frame, a chassis that can take a certain amount of weight and hit to temperature and a lot of other things that we have to deal with, because you got to remember we have to take them to the North Pole, to Iraq, into the forest, across. They might get dropped in a lake. Like, these things are contracted that way. So when you're looking for these military kits, don't be afraid of the big ones because you think you have to have the small little high-tech computers. Big stuff. We buy it all. There's your tactical point on that MMS, because I like the trailer, but I've never liked that control station. There, I'm done my rant, Aaron. You can chime in now.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it.
I just like it because it looks good. It looks good with a fig next to it.
Yeah. As a toy maker, it was the right call, because how much shelf space do you have to show this, right?
Yes.
You know, the missile, nobody within 250 meters, right?
Exactly.
Hey, we got Gonzo in there. Hey, Gonzo, right? But yeah, great toys. Yeah, you're right though. The Joe one, I hope, is different.
Yeah, it's going to be different. I'm sure they're going to put a different spin on it and whatnot. And, you know, it's been cool watching them do things as the line progresses. And overall, you know, I'm pretty happy with the line, man. I mean, it's one of my favorites. I make space for it. This line has intrigued me so much, as you can see. You know, like, I have 2 walls coated with just classified stuff right in here, and then I have a whole nother bookshelf that is like 10 by 10, you know, or 9 by 9, and it is filled with all the boxes in complete order. Like, I make space for this collection, and that's how much it means to me. Right. Just like my vintage Joes.
And that's something that's going on Aaron's channel, that if you've been following it, which I think most if not all of you are already on Aaron's channel all the time, but Aaron's moved his entire space for display, right? So how's that going? Like, what is the room you've moved it into?
It's going good. This is an office room that's only going to last for about 2 months until my daughter comes back. This is my actual daughter's room. She's living with her mom for the summer. And we needed to remodel this room anyway, so I came in and did a full paint job and put in all this shelving. I told her I was just going to borrow it until she gets back. She wanted shelving in this room before, but what this does is gives me space to like put my toys, and a lot of them were like in the garage and whatnot. Darren's seen the mess, so now I can like kind of where I started out streaming, when you guys see like the gray poster board, and when I very first started live streaming, that space has just been cluttered and filled and dead, and I want to redo that space similar to what you see behind me, the shelving type we're going to redo and everything, and then just get my own space isolated back out there. But it's weird, because when you have so much toys and so much stuff, and I don't want to put my stuff in the boxes and totes. I have enough. I just shuffle it, you know, from one room to another, and then in the process, I'm remodeling for my daughter. You know, it's a win-win for everybody. I get to be out here for the hot months of the summer. I get to be in this nice, cool room. You see, I got my Baja, you know, jacket on, and I feel good.
Yeah. No. So you still have your main display room. This is going to be a temporary. Your daughter's working back, but I've seen you working on how to present things, and I noticed like a lot of new stuff goes on behind you sometimes. Like, we had fun with the one live you had the other night. Like, you've got more room it feels like you got more room to explore with your channel a little bit.
I do, and it helps out a lot. So there's 2 rooms that are slap full of toys, and then there's my garage, and that holds a lot of my display table, you know, my review table, my work table, my printing table. It's filled with tables.
Yeah. All right. Well, that segues well into getting me out of the SDCC expectations, because I'm sure there's a bunch more too. But again, all of this reveal stuff, we're going to get locked into character by character, I'm sure, on Wednesday, as well as the stuff that disappointed us or impressed us. But Crow's moving soon. Crow's buying a house, and that's going to come to the channel. And the guys that Crow's going to have a room just for YouTube and Joe's. And so there might be times where you guys suddenly have a new set. And it's very barren, and it's the Crow's new house as he sets up a room. But I'm going to be looking at guys like Aaron and the others and saying, by the way, if you wanted to do some fun stuff, here's how we can do it. For the Crow.
And that may be a great time. Maybe it's a great time for me to take a little trip to Canada and help put up some shelving or something for you.
Well,
that would be awesome.
I'm all about having that, right? So yeah, it's
great.
one of those things, DMAC. It's good and it's bad, but I'm glad I'm not in a bad situation where I can't afford to do it. But I am buying a house. But yeah, the Crow's gonna have his YouTube studio set up, and this is what I was getting at with Aaron. It's maximizing that space because I'm like you, buddy. I'm sick of seeing my shit in totes, right?
And we all got it. I know we all got it to some extent. It gets aggravating.
Yeah. So I'm going to get my shelves together just one last time, kind of like what you're doing, that temporary 2-month setup. And I'm going to do one last video of my shelves and the displays as I have them. But what I was trying to get at is when I get that new place, guys, we're going to take those displays up from passable shelf display to full diorama shelvings with storytellings and things like that, because the printers will get set up. And I'll be back from Aaron's Good and Inspired, and I've got a whole support network with our guys, like between Aaron, Loki, and the others, that I'm going to have to start getting on that printing stuff, right? So that's what's coming to the channel this summer, guys. And I'll talk more about it as it happens, but you'll be a part of it. All right. Yeah. So what do you got planned for the rest of the day, Aaron? Because I'm going to end this on a good hour-long chat.
Today, I put in a panel on a house. We took the panel out because it was bad. It was all smoldering and burning up. So I felt like I did a good deed by, just tuning in. No one lived at the house. It's unoccupied, but it is a rental home. And they called me out to change that. And, I wanted to bring this up because sometimes there's little problems, like the AC wasn't turning on, okay? They called me out, hey, Aaron, come fix the AC, it's some electrical problem. And then it turns out to be a big problem where no one knew what was going on until I opened that panel up and seen that it was shot. Could have been a potential house fire. So it makes you feel good to do things like that, but even the smallest little things can lead to something big, where who knows, I may have saved, some family's life because I found this problem and redid it. But that was an amazing experience today that I just wanted to share with you. And it does happen to me once in a while. I'm gonna bring it up when it does. But
you know what that reminded me of?
What's
Dexter. Did you ever watch Dexter?
Yeah, Dexter's Laboratory. Yeah.
No, Dexter the serial killer series there.
Oh no, I didn't, man.
Okay, that's where he in the first few seasons. That's where he keeps his souvenir blood samples. Was in the air conditioner. I was like, imagine if you opened it up. You're a serial killer. But you're right. Yeah. That must feel good to know that you solved that problem.
That's what I was doing today, and I got my guy working on another one. So I took off early, and my plans were today was to come home and we got a huge pool out in the front of our neighborhood because it's HOA, and I haven't even been to it yet, but they've been to it a lot. So I was going to take Charlie swimming today, and that's how I was going to. That was my main priority, to getting after I got all my work done. So, swimming.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you've got the best of plans if you're spending time with Charlie today and taking him somewhere fun like that, man. So I wish you the best. Myself, I'm going to get back to getting caught up on some of the customs that I have outstanding. I'm going to try and figure out when my next new fig is coming, because it's pretty dry out here right now, guys. I'm still waiting on.
Yeah, but you're sitting on a kick butt dial tone and wetsuit right now. I would just be taking them out for pictures.
Well, that's all I can do now is just keep making my own until they're done. But Wraith Mace, I got that Tanith one done. I'm going to talk to you when I do that reveal of the that guy. But right now, thanks to Loki Wartooth, I'm working on a Night Force short fuse, because we don't have short fuse. But if he comes, they're going to do it to me again. But you know, if I do the variant before I do an original tribute, then Hasbro and I have room to play together.
Thanks for hanging out with us, Woody.
Yeah, later, guys. And we are at 59 minutes, so I'm gonna say thanks very much to Aaron for dropping by. Thanks for
inviting me, buddy. I'm glad we got
the comments. And like I said, remember to catch the three of us at Wednesday night. I think are we 9 or 8 Eastern? I think we're 9.
I think it's 9. And again, guys, like we're really gonna break it down and we'll bring up some things that, you know.
Yeah. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, those things that I'm sitting on the fence about was almost every single figure. I think there was only 1 or 2 figures where I had a firm opinion, and the other ones, and I feel bad about saying it, I don't know, Hasbro. I don't know how I'm feeling about this wave exactly right now.
It's weird because I haven't felt that way about the other waves like I do about this one. It's weird.
I don't know what their schedule is like, Bobby, and I will close out by saying not only did I start before them today, but I'll be done before them today because like I don't care. Whatever they're gonna say about it, it's got the audience they have. We have the audience we have, but I hold that in the background to remind you guys that you have 2 choices when it comes to the northern side. You don't have to just hear that one. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting. Maybe I will fold over their time zone. I don't care. All right. Aaron, I will talk to you backstage. Rest of you guys, I will see you in the next chat, probably tonight. Bye.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. Thanks for seeing us.
Oh, before we go, Aaron, you're on tonight or no?
Yes, I am on tonight. We are doing G.I. Joe trivia, and it is the cartoon edition, guys. I know you guys like that. We're gonna have a fun one. All right, I'm gonna talk briefly about what we just talked about, just for a few minutes, and then we're going and having fun.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Get your typing fingers ready.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna see you guys tonight in Aaron's chat because everybody loves good Joe trivia. It's the cartoon trivia, so that wall of pigs ain't gonna help you, homeboy.
Yeah, keep that in your head, dude. It's cartoon trivia, man.
I guarantee you, out of 24 questions, I will get 24 weird answers, and one might be right. But just like Punk's show, you know, I saved the best part for the last part. You know what you're doing tonight, guys. We'll see you there. All right. Have a good one.
Yo, Joe.
Okay. Thanks.